What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com bringing home the bacon NFL DFS video. We are breaking down the Thursday, or technically, we're breaking down NFL Week 14, excluding Thursday Night Football. So if you've never been here before, hopefully you're in for a treat. Hopefully you are ready to go. So what we're going to do is in this video, we're going to try something different this week. I want to know if you guys like it. So if you do, let me know down below or in our Discord, which you can find the link down below. But what we're going to do is we're going to go top 10 at each position. We're going to go through those numbers, okay? Then what we're going to do, we're going to use our matchup tool. I want to show you kind of what the matchup tool is. And then after that, we are going to give you some of our settings that you could use for whichever optimizer you use. So how we build our lineups throughout the settings we go, we use that. We use the rankings, whether or not it's DraftKings, FanDuel, whatever website you're on. We're going to give you that. And then at the end, we're going to build you some lineups there as well. So if you've never been here before, hopefully you're in for a treat. If you have not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification, go check out all of our other content. We broke down Thursday Night Football. We're breaking down this slate. We're going to break down Sunday Night Football. We're going to break down Monday Night Football. We're going to give you as much as I can. So what we're going to do is I'm also going to combine the stacks video in this one today. So I want to see if you guys like this a little bit more. Usually we have a standalone stacks video. Then we have the slate breakdown. We're going to combine that here. Then we're going to give you some of our favorite touchdown picks for this slate through 10,000 simulations. So we do 20,000 sims a week for NFL. We're going to give you all of our information through the first 10,000 sims about an hour or two before first kickoff. That is when we do the last 10,000 sims. So if you're interested, definitely stick around. We have the free Discord down below. We also have a ton of links that we're going to talk about. We try to have 2 giveaways every single one of these videos, and here's how you can win. You gotta like the video, you gotta be a subscriber, and you gotta leave a comment. You do all 3 of those in this video right here, gets a minimum of 50 likes. You will have a shot at a free week of FTA Plus. So that's a week of all sports. So current sports in season, NBA, NFL, PGA, and MMA. If this video gets at least 100 likes, a chance at a free month, 150 likes, a free year, 200 or more likes in this video, a chance at a lifetime pass. And the second way to win, somewhere in the video, there'll be a keyword. Just be on the lookout for it and type it in. So somewhere in this video, I'm going to talk about the 3 ways to get free content from FTA Plus, and then the 2 specials that we still have going on. So without further ado, let's rock and roll. So we will see who the winner of last week's video is a little bit later on in the video. So what we're going to do is we're now just going to go into DraftKings. So you can use this for FanDuel. Obviously, the pricing's a little bit different, but the same sentiment. These are the same plays that I like in this same order. It just depends on the site that you play for. So I guess DraftKings, FanDuel, Yahoo would be the top 3 that people talk about. So that being said, if you've never seen the matchup tool, this is exactly what it is. You can find it under the NFL tab. Then the matchup tool, it'll take you right here. So here's how we read this. So this is supposed to be week 14, my bad. This wasn't updated right there. So what you see is you go through here. These are the defenses. These are their red zone ranks. So obviously 32 out of 32 is the worst, so on and so forth. Go through his passing stats allowed to quarterbacks, rushing, per game stats, fantasy points allowed. So however you build it out, this is kind of how you can build using that. So in theory, a tournament pick may be the Saints, Tyler Schaff, or Schoaf, I don't know, I can't remember how you say his name, is in store for a good game on paper because Tampa Bay is the second worst team overall, and they rank 21st in the red zone against the opposing quarterback. So that's how you read that. You can see running back, same situation. See wide receiver, same situation. These are all supposed to be week 14. I apologize. But what we see here is you can go through. You can see how they're, so however you want to rank it out. If you want to filter it by red zone rank, I completely get that. If you want to filter that overall, completely get that as well. DraftKings here, FanDuel here. You're able to build around using that. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. $10 a week, $30 a month, $200 for a year, or $500 for a lifetime pass can get you into FTA Plus. So that being said, we're going to go position by position, give you our top 5s at each position. So that being said, let's jump into the quarterback rankings right now. So I love Josh Allen, number 1. Now, depends on who you're going to stack him with. Running back has a great matchup DVP-wise. Tight ends have a great matchup DVP-wise. You've got his wide receivers. Who is he going to throw it to? He is also one that you can immediately go ahead and he can run into And you could throw them out there naked if you want, but I do like a stack with the Bills here. So I've got Josh Allen, number 1. Number 2 is Matt Stafford. Number 3 is Jalen Hurts. Number 4 is Mahomes. Number 5 is Joe Burrow. Number 6 is Lamar Jackson. 7, Bo Nix. 8, Baker Mayfield. 9, Jordan Love. And 10 is Jacoby Brissett. Now, these are through the first 10,000 sims. They can change a little bit once we do 20,000. Like I said, Sunday mornings about 2 hours before kickoff is when we do that. So these can change a little bit, but majority overall, these are the exact rankings that I like moving forward. Unless someone's ruled out or sick or injured in pre-warm-ups, I think we're good here. So let's move to the running back position. Again, you can use it on FanDuel. It just depends on the pricing for you. But number 1, I got Jonathan Taylor. Number 2, I've got Devon Achane. Number 3 is James Cook. 4 is Bijan Robinson. 5 is Derrick Henry. 6 is Josh Jacobs. 7 is Bucky Irving. 8, Kyron Williams. 9, Breece Hall. And finally, 10 is Chase Brown. So if you want to see all of them after 10, go check out fantasyteamadvisors.com. We got the wide receiver spot here. JSN, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. I love him. He's dominating pretty much every week except last week. Kind of let us down. Got him number 1. I've got number 2 is Jamar Chase. 3 is Puka Nacua. 4 is Rashee Rice. 5 is Devontae Adams. Both Nacua and Adams have thrived together every single week, it seems. 6 is Nico Collins. 7, A.J. Brown. 8, Jalen Waddle. 9, Christian Watson. And 10 is Justin Jefferson. We'll move to the tight end position. Number 1 is Trey McBride. I don't think that shouldn't be a surprise. He's been number 1 almost every single week. Number 2 is Brock Bowers. Number 3 is Tyler Warren. 4 is Travis Kelce. 5 is Kyle Pitts. 6 is Juwan Johnson. 7 is Harold Fannin Jr. 8, Zach Ertz. 9, Aronde Gadsden II. And 10 is Dalton Schultz there for Houston in that matchup, which I do like Dalton Schultz this week. Then we move to defense. Now, again, defense is one of those where we're not 100% sure. Like, you can throw it against the wall. You can pay down a little bit, but the matchups are great in this order. So number 1 is Denver Broncos versus Geno Smith and the turnover machine that he is, and the Raiders. Number 2 is the Browns. Number 3 are the Bucks. 4, Seahawks. 5, Rams. 6, Commanders. 7, Dolphins. 8, Titans. 9, Eagles. And finally 10, the Houston Texans going up against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. So those are our top 10s at each position. You want to see more of them. You want to see how we rank them. You want to see how they are simulated. All the projections, the optimal lineups, the cheat sheet. Go check it out. It's $10 a week. Like I said earlier, we do have 2 specials going on. We still have 4 spots available for that lifetime pass. If you have been on the fence about that, lifetime pass is normally $500. If you email me right now, dfshelp1@gmail.com, you can get it right now for $150. 4 spots left for that. And then a yearly pass, normally $200 for the year. You can get it for $75 if you email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. Okay, that being said, we're going to see who the winner of last week's video is real quick. So in that video, we only had 4 comments. So you have a 1 in 4 chance, 21 likes. So it's just for the keyword because we did not get the 50 likes on that one. So we'll see if anyone had the keyword. And there you go. It was China. I don't remember why it was China. But Livewire JDO89, congratulations. Please email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. Say you're the NFL Week 13 keyword winner, and then tell me your username on fantasyteamadvisors.com. I don't remember why it was China. I'm trying to remember. I cannot remember. Okay. So, that being said, we've got that. If we are looking at different settings for your optimizer, depending on whatever optimizer you use, here's what I usually go with. I usually use QB plus 2 stack. That's about 25% of the time. QB plus 2, meaning, like, let's say you were to take, that's QB plus 2, so 3 players from, let's say Josh Allen, 3 players from the Bills with a bring back of 2, Cincinnati, so I'm looking at like Chase Brown, then I would be looking at Jamar Chase. That's kind of what that is. That's at 25%. Then I have, those are the 2 with the stacks, and then I let the optimizer do the rest, okay? So then with position, so running back, wide receiver, tight end, and defense, I always put from 100% max exposure down to 30% max exposure. So that's how I kind of narrow it down there. Then I drill it down just a little bit further. When I go to the quarterback, I go from the 30% down to 15% because I want it to work for me a little bit. And I want to see different stacks that it does. I want to see 15%. So I usually put like 5,000 lineups, or depending on whatever your optimizer, I guess, does, put the max amount of lineups, run that through, see the initial one, then go in. If there is a randomization button, usually anywhere between like 10 to 20% randomization, I throw that in there as well. So if there's a certain game you want to target, just depending on the over-unders and stuff like that, obviously Vegas thinks the highest over-under, or the over-unders are pretty good. So if we're looking at like the highest over-unders this week, we have on this slate, Bills and the Bengals, 53 over-under with a 5.5 point spread for the Bills. So obviously the Bills are going to be highly owned, but if they think the game is going to go big, we need Joe Burrow, we need Jamar Chase, we need Chase Brown, we need a Bengals bring back there. So another one would be the Cardinals at the Rams. The Rams are 8.5 point favorites, still got a 47.5 over-under. I want to take advantage of that. So I love Jacoby Brissett because Kyler is out for the rest of the year. Brissett, Harrison, depending if you're going to go Trey McBride, I like that as well. Then the flip side of that, the Rams, Stafford, Puka, and Devontae are all in there. Kyron Williams is in there as well for me. We got to get that back and forth there. So I always look at like the top 5 games that have the highest over-unders, and I kind of build and like help my algorithm a little bit by boosting those games as well. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. Do not worry about the weather. The rain is not going to be a factor for the majority of the games. If there is thunder or if there's lightning, they will sometimes pause it for a while. But rain rarely ever screws us over, unlike it does with baseball. So I wanted to bring that to your attention and how we kind of build around the optimizer, kind of some of the settings that I'm looking for there. Now we're going to talk about the top 5 stacks of the week that I wanted to talk about. So instead of a separate video, I want to throw it in here. If you like it in this video, let me know. If you like it as a separate video, I got to know down below. So my number 1 stack this week is Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo's 5.5 point spread favorite right now. Buffalo has the highest over-under of 28.52 and the highest implied team total and the highest over-under of 55.5. So Josh Allen has a matchup against the 27th ranked DVP on DraftKings at least. You can look at the matchup tool with FanDuel, giving up an average of 20.7 fantasy points per game. James Cook, if you want to add him in there, he's got the best DVP matchup for running backs, 32nd out of 32, giving up an average of 33.3 fantasy points a game. We know that he is capable of going 3+ touchdowns in games when they need him. And then depending on the tight end that starts. So if Kincaid is back, I do like Kincaid. If he is out, Dawson Knox takes his spot. But whoever it is, the tight end in this range, Cincinnati is dead last. They're 32 out of 32 against the opposing tight ends. They're giving up an average of 23.7 fantasy points per game to tight ends. Let's just put that in perspective. If we're looking at tight ends, the average is 19.2, Trey McBride. And then it drops down to 16.1. So if we were to look at the Dalton Kincaid, the Dawson Knox, they're down, okay? They are not where you think. Kincaid is questionable, so we're looking at him. You got Knox who's even further, so Kincaid is averaging 13. So you can see overall, that Cincy defense is giving up a ton of DraftKings fantasy points to the opposing tight ends in the game. So that's why I like those 3 in this game. Obviously, you can always go with Brandon Cooks. You could go with Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman. They're wide receivers, but there's so many mouths to feed that I think I want to go with running back and tight end. And then let's say they both get 2 touchdowns apiece, and Josh Allen runs into 6 touchdowns with those 3. Obviously, the chances of that are very slim, but they have great matchups there. So my number 2 stack is the Rams, Matt Stafford and the Rams. So the Rams are 8.5 point favorite. They have an implied team total of 27.21 with an over-under of 47.5. So we look at this. Stafford's going up against the 9th defense, giving up an average of 16 fantasy points per game. But if we take him and we combine him with both Puka and Devontae Adams, 15th DVP against the wide receivers, giving up an average of 30.2 there. Now, he had a huge streak of X amount of touchdowns without throwing an interception. He threw 2 last week. 1 was not his fault. They lost that game. I think they come back with a vengeance here in this game. I love this matchup for the Rams, and that is what I want to take advantage of. I think they have a great matchup here against Arizona. Number 3 is Cincy Bengals. So on the flip side of our first stack of Buffalo. If Vegas thinks it's going to be 55.5 and we need both teams to score a lot, Cincinnati's 5.5-point underdogs. We got an implied team total of 25.65 with an over-under of 55.5. So the highest over-under on the slate as of the making of the video. Not the best matchup for Joe Burrow. Buffalo is second against the quarterback, giving up an average of only 13.5. But if they are behind, like Vegas thinks they're going to be, he's going to have to throw the ball up 50, 60 times. They're going to connect with Jamar Chase. I love this matchup here. I have him, Joe Burrow, against the second DVP. I've got Chase Brown against the 29th DVP out of 32, giving up an average of 26.3. And then we've got Jamar Chase, 11th DVP. I don't care. He's pretty much matchup proof for me. With that, there's 11th DVP is still giving up 29.4 fantasy points a game. Obviously, with this, if T. Higgins is out, Jamar Chase gets a boost, but he does not have a tag. So that's always something to look at. If you don't want to pay up for Jamar, you can always go T. Higgins. You could always go Joe, T, and Jamar. Maybe throw in Chase Brown as well. Just depends on what you got there. So number 4 is the Seattle Seahawks. They're a 6.5-point favorite. We got an implied team total of 24.77, and they have an over-under of 44.5. So let's dig into the DVP. Sam Darnold's been absolutely on fire. He is who we thought he was. He probably Vikings shouldn't have let him go. In this matchup, Seattle, what we're looking for in this game, Atlanta defense. They're ranked 17th out of 32, giving up an average of 17.4. Then I look at Kenneth Walker III. You can always see Charbonnet vulture some touchdowns. I get that. The KW, the third, 24th DVP against the running back, 24.7 fantasy points a game. Then we have JSN or Jackson Smith and Jigba, 18th DVP, 32.5 over under is what we're looking for there. I see no world where you have Sam Darnold, but not JSN. You need to remember DFS is daily or weekly for NFL. We got to forget what JSN did last week. We got to take advantage of 18th DVP out of 32. He's in the bottom third. We got to take advantage of Seattle as our number 4 stack. And then our number 5 stack, Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love. I love this matchup here against the Bears. Green Bay's a 6.5-point favorite. Odunze is already ruled out, so obviously you're going to see some value on Chicago's side. Green Bay has an implied team total of 24.71 with an over-under of 44.5. So DVP-wise, the Bears are 26th against the opposing quarterback, giving up an average of 20.7. I love him against Christian Watson, or stack him with Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs. The Bears secondary against the opposing wide receivers, 26 DVP, giving up an average of 37.2 fantasy points a game. So I love that matchup there. I think it's under-owned. I think Chicago and Caleb Williams is going to be a stack. I don't think a lot of people are talking about Jordan Love right now. I want to take advantage of that. So number 1 is the Bills, number 2, the Rams, 3, Bengals, 4, Seahawks, and 5, the Green Bay Packers. So that being said, the keyword of the day is going to be beer. What is your go-to, if you drink, what is your go-to winter beer to get you through the cold months if you're in a cold climate? I have a Spotted Cow right now. You can only get it from Wisconsin. Unfortunately, luckily, I live in a neighboring state, so sometimes we go to the border. I found out in 2026, Yingling is coming to my state. I cannot wait. I love Yingling, and I cannot wait to try. Hopefully, the Hershey Porter Yingling comes next Christmas or in the fall or winter. I'm very excited to try that as well. Let me know if you guys have tried that. Okay, so that being said, we are going to give you a couple of lineup builds, both FanDuel and DraftKings. So let me pause the video and get these lineups ready to go. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of lineup builds here. If you want to see our core plays, you want to see some bets that we like, that's in our Discord, absolutely free here. Again, these are not the only lineups that we have. We have more lineups on the website. We have simulations. We have projections. We have a cheat sheet with all the plays at each position that we like. That includes stacks. That includes optimal lineups too. These are your first look through 10,000 sims. But I'm really liking looking at stacking Mahomes here in this matchup against Houston. It seems like anytime these two teams battle, it's always a huge game. I remember it had to be in 2018 when it was just back and forth to Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. I had the flu or something. I was in bed, but I was enjoying every part of it. Obviously, not the same teams. That was, 7 years ago. We still have a great matchup here. I think it is in a good spot. A Kansas City stack, looking at Mahomes, Rashee Rice, and Travis Kelce, I think are in a good spot. So we got Kelce in there for the flex, the tight end flex position. Then we got the Commanders and Jay going up against J.J. McCarthy or 9 or whatever we want to call him. I like that matchup there. So that's one lineup that I'm looking at. It's going to say this, and it's not going to allow me to do it. I'm going to do it here, and it's going to allow me to do it. If you guys have been with us for more than a week, you know that that happens, and I have not an iota of a clue as to why. So another one that I want to look at and just kind of building around is in this part of our stacks, Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. So I'm going to take advantage of Jordan Love. I want to put a Chan in there. It had a touchdown, 1 or 2 touchdowns last week for us. I cannot remember. So we're going to put in Josh Jacobs with that. We're going to put in Christian Watson in here. Okay. We're going to add him in there. Watson had 2 touchdowns last week or last time they played. So we've got Pat Bryant in there, Brown in there. So whether or not it's Devontae Smith, Brown, Saquon, who knows. A.J. Brown, since complaining, has seemed to get a boost. Whether or not we take advantage of that or whether or not they continue with that, we will see in this game here. Got to get Kelce in there. And then with the defense, we're at 3,700. You can go, the Browns are down. Browns against Tennessee makes sense. They're averaging 8.1. That's what I'm going. So Jordan Love all the way down to the Cleveland Browns there. So now we're going to build a FanDuel line. Depending on how you build it, it could be an interesting build here. So I personally am going with Josh Allen, who's my number 1 stack this week. I'm going to stack him with Cook because if you remember, Cook has the best DVP against the opposing running backs of all running backs, 32 out of 32. Devon Achane. We're going to add in Khalil Shakir to add into that Buffalo stack. Burden should get a boost here because Odunze is out. Michael Wilson should get a little bit of boost here, even with Marvin Harrison back. He was back last week, and we saw Michael Wilson come through at 5.1. Obviously not what we'd love to see. The game just wasn't, I thought Jacoby would do better than he did. He did not. We got Kyle Pitts as our tight end. We've got Ashton Genty here against Denver. Denver's defense is pretty good. It's always something I'm a little bit leery on. Titans defense against Cleveland, it's okay. It just depends on which Shedeur Sanders we are going to get. So there's a Josh Allen lineup there. If I'll pause the video, or you can pause the video real quick if that's what you want to do. But we will take advantage of that, and we'll do one more lineup build on FanDuel here. Let's enter this one in here, since I can't play plus games here, which is, unfortunate. We will go in a different direction, and we will build one more lineup on FanDuel. So I am thinking myself, I want to go Matt Stafford and the Rams. We talked about that. They're our second favorite stack of the week. And depending on how far down you want to go in the lineup, Stafford, I want to get in there. I think Puka has to be in there. I don't see myself getting away from Puka there. Genty. Chan. Quentin Johnston that I would look at for sure. Michael Wilson, like I said, I think they're going to double team Marvin Harrison if he's in. So we take advantage of that by going the other side. Aaron Jones is there. And then depending on the defense that you have the Falcons are down. Falcons against Sam Darnold scares me a little bit. Titans I'm okay with against Cleveland. Minnesota against Jaden Daniels, who could re-injure his knee. Always scared about a little bit. Raiders against Denver, probably not. Bengals against Buffalo, no. And the Saints against Tampa Bay, probably not. So if you want to go with Falcons against Seattle, I'm okay with it. Again, for the majority of the time, you can punt a defense and be good with it. Okay, so that is what we've got there. So now, looking at some of our favorite some of our favorite touchdown picks or anytime touchdown picks, you can parlay some of these together. We're going to do running backs, and then we're going to do wide receivers after that. So number 1, James Cook's got a fantastic matchup. I've got him 1. I've got Jonathan Taylor 2. I've got Devon Achane 3. Derrick Henry 4. and Chase Brown at number 5. So those are my top 5 running backs that should or have a great matchup here for a touchdown. Touchdown here for wide receivers, JSN is number 1. Number 2 is Devontae Adams. He just in the red zone. They just throw down. Number 3 is Jamar Chase. Number 4 is Puka. I love Puka in this one. Number 5 is Cortland Sutton. So those are just 5 of the plays. We're going to have even more on the website, on the cheat sheet. So go check out fantasyteamadvisors.com. There's a link in the description of this video. It is our weekly DraftKings League. It's $5 to enter. Top 3 places pay every single week. At the end of the year, the more you play, the more it pays. Top 3 places. First place gets a lifetime pass to FTA Plus. Second place gets a yearly pass to FTA Plus. And third place gets a monthly pass to FTA Plus. So go check that out. And if you guys want to win some free content, there's a DraftKings, FanDuel, and Fanatics Sportsbooks links in the description of this video. There's 1, 2, or 3 of those sites you've never signed up for. Sign up using our link down below. Deposit a minimum of $20. Enter 1 bet on any of those. Then email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, and let me know that you signed up using our link. We're going to give you a free month of FTA Plus for every single link you guys sign up for in the description of this video. So let's have a fantastic week 14. Let me know if you guys liked the stacks video and the weekly video combined into one. Good luck to everybody. If you're in the fantasy football playoffs, you're playing DFS, whatever it is, good luck this week. And as always, let's bring up some bacon. Peace.